So again I'm here. My love to all of you. And I'm just wondering, Namrata just now announced that I had taught you slokas and many of you are liking them very much. So I'm just wondering whether you have learned them. Have you made any effort to learn them? And not only learn, as I am always saying, we have to learn, reflect, ruminate, then absorb and assimilate the meanings of each word, and then bring it to our own lives. That is, our life should get transformed according to what messages we are getting from these slokas. So I'll start with Guru Vandana and then we will proceed. Swamin namaste nataloka bandho karunya sindho patitam bhavabdhau mamuddharatmiya kataksha drishtya rijvyati karunya sudhabhivrishtya Swamin namaste, Swamin namaste, Swamin namaste, Swamin namaste. Yat kirtanam, yat smaranam, yadikshanam, yad vandanam, yat shravanam, yadarhanam. Lokasya sadyo vidhunoti kalmasham tasmai subhadrashravase namo namaha vichakshanaya charanopasadanat sangam vyudasyo bhayatontaratmanah vindantihi brahmagatim Gataklamaha tasmai subhadrashravase namo namaha tasmai subhadrashravase namo namaha tasmai subhadrashravase namo namaha. Jai Guru, Jai Guru, Jai Guru. I think it will be better that we revise and recapitulate what we have discussed in the last 3 satsangs. I think this is the 4th one. I think I started explaining what is a satsang and why is it necessary to have a satsang. Satsang, I think by now all of you know, it is the association with the Sat. What is Sat? The eternal, imperishable soul or Brahman, the one without a second, which has no change, no birth, no death, no movement. So that is the Sat. And why do we have to get associated with the Sat? In our lives, we always want peace and happiness. The peace and happiness we get, no doubt, for short intervals of time or maybe a longer duration. But the peace and happiness that we achieve from the world in our respective situations and lives, those are transitory. They do not remain forever. That is not everlasting peace and happiness that we get. So, we look for what is permanent peace and happiness. if we do not look for, we must look for. We must think, question, is there any permanent peace and happiness in this life? We must question, why is it that I get fearful, I am so anxious, I am so worried? Why is it that in spite of having everything in life, all kinds of comforts, maybe name, fame, wealth and possession, still I feel as if there is something more to be achieved, as if there is a void somewhere, something has to be achieved, and I don't feel contented. These are the questions which come to our mind. And our scriptures say, all these questions will come to rest. There will be no questions anymore. There won't be any doubt anymore if we are able to realize ourself. What is that self? The I in us. The I. Generally we think that I am this body, mind, intelligence limited, this existence, this being. And mistakenly we get identified with our mind, intelligence, body, etc. And whenever body, mind and intelligence, they undergo happiness and unhappiness, fear and anxiety, we get affected too. But the fact is that our real identity is fearless, unaffected, not afflicted at all. It is eternal, infinite, imperishable, changeless. So, in our lives actually, that we are so, that our real identity is so, we forget. We forget because we always look outside. We look for happiness from the outside world. The world comes with so many varieties and allure us, and we feel, why not enjoy this thing? Why not we achieve that or this, and I'll get happiness and peace? We do get, as I said, but those are not permanent. So the scriptures tell us, our Upanishads are called Shruti Mata. Like a mother, the scriptures tell us, as I say, my dear children, the Shruti Mata is always telling us, my dear children, know your true identity. That is why, in those fortunate souls in whom this question has arisen, that what is this life? Why I am always tossing between happiness and unhappiness? Is there nothing permanent in this life? What is this self or soul or Atma that I hear about? To them, to those fortunate ones, the Shruti Mata says, know yourself. And that is why Satsang is necessary. That is, we must read about the Sat. Where? We have got so many scriptures. The Upanishads are there, the Bhagavad Gita is there, the Prakaranas are there, Yogavasishtha is there, Bhagavatam is there. So many other texts. We should read them. Or we should listen to them. By reading and listening what is happening, we are constantly remembering that I am mistaken. I am mistakenly identifying with my body, but I am a body different soul. I am imperishable. I am eternal, changeless. This knowledge we will be constantly either read or listen. The next is we have to reflect upon them. So, Satsanga is necessary because of that. Because our ultimate question is that, or ultimate want is that we want to become peaceful and happy. All these things in these 3 days, I have said so many times that sometimes when I'm repeating, I feel that you are thinking, oh, Maya is saying the same thing again and again. But as I told you last time, or maybe the last time here before this one, unless we remind ourselves, unless we hammer into our heads the truth, the ultimate truth, it will not go inside. It is like this. How will we have a love for this knowledge? How will we have a love for treading this path? Yes, by reading and listening we come to know about the self, the Atma. But we have to pursue. After reading and listening comes our own part, where we have to make an effort to reflect upon that, to think on that, those ideas, the concepts. We have to ruminate and try to absorb. We try to do that, but we are not successful. Because meanwhile, many other alluring things come in front, or duties come, or responsibilities come, and we say, okay, I will think about the self a little later. This is what happens. But this satsanga is constantly telling us, remain connected. The Upanishads, Bhagavad Gita, and all other scriptures, scriptural texts, they say remain connected with the soul. Do everything, but remain connected. So, we have to pursue whatever we have known, the knowledge by reading and listening, whatever we have gained, we have to pursue it. And that is the aim of a seeker. My dear children, I will tell with my 2 arms stretched, shoutingly I will say, that there should be an aim in this life. Without this aim, which is a higher purpose of this human life is not what ordinary people think, that we get born, maybe we get educated, then we get a job, people get married, they have children, they bring up the children, by that time they have acquired some property and possessions and wealth, maybe name, fame, recognition, they become old and then die. This is not the life. Life is a higher purpose, and that is to retreat back to the soul. We have come out of our own center, the core. Our own center, the core, is our identity, that I am that infinite soul. And not only the soul in myself, the same self is everywhere, the universal self, the Brahman. One without a second. That is why it is said, one without a second. It's not that everybody has different self and all the selves are different from each other. No. The same self is everywhere. Just like the sky here and the sky there. Is there any difference? It's all a sky. Maybe it's a crude example, but it is like that. It's full and the one presence everywhere. The one concept, the one tattva everywhere. Now, the scriptures are telling us, you must try to know yourself. Okay, we have understood it. We have known it. It is there as a piece of knowledge in our mind. After that, what? I ask you. After that, what? What are we doing? This knowledge is not like the knowledge that we get by studying, say, physics, chemistry, maths, English, history, social science, and many other subjects. It is not like that. When we learn these academic subjects, maybe we learn them, we master them, and we have a career. We go high up in the career. We are paid very well, get good jobs. Maybe we are quite famous and well known in our own field of knowledge. But we have no compulsion to become that. We cannot be that also. The one who studies physics, maths, chemistry, biology or whatever, they don't have any compulsion or they cannot become that. But this knowledge, in this knowledge, this is the highest knowledge, Paravidya. In Upanishad, it says, Atha para yaya tad aksharam adhigamyate. What is that? Yaya tad aksharam adhigamyate. That by this knowledge, you will be able to know, or you will know, what is akshara, the changeless, the I, the self, Brahman, which is changeless. You will come to know that. That is not only having an intellectual knowledge that self has these qualities or characteristics, as we are constantly reading. I have taught you 2 shlokas on the self. One is Akashavallapa Vidura Goham from Vivekachudamani, another from Bhagavad Gita, Najayate Mriyate Va Kadachit. We are reading, learning, maybe reflecting also on the messages of the words, the meanings. What our scriptures say is that Yaya tad aksharam adhigamyate. You have to become that akshara. If we have read the word akshara, that Atma is changeless, all the qualities of the Atma, since it is me, myself, I, my own qualities, I must become that. I must understand that. I must realize that and be stable and established in that. The qualities that we hear constantly. Ajaha, Nityaha, Shashvataha, Puranaha, Niranjanaha, Nirvikaraha, Advayaha. All these qualities, I think many of you must be knowing, reading various scriptures. We have a compulsion to become that. We just cannot read or listen and become very happy chanting. I'm again and again saying, I am encouraging you to learn the shlokas, chant them, reflect upon them. But I caution you, it should not become mechanical. You just cannot learn and be very happy that I have learned 50 shlokas. What of that? You have to become that. My dear children, become that. So much of joy is there. Maybe we'll not be able to become that or express those qualities in our behavior and everything in one day. But we will tread the path, loving the path, love the path. We'll go ahead and we will experience the bliss that each moment gives us. So, our aim is what? Aim is to know ourselves. In the devotional texts, they say, to know the Supreme Lord. In Bhagavad Gita also, Krishna, first he tells about the self, the soul, and then he goes off to say that it is nothing but the Supreme Lord. He is inside and outside, the same Brahman. It is He who is in every activity, every thought, every bhava. He makes everything active, sentient. The whole gross world, our body, mind, intelligence, ego, everything becomes animated because of the Supreme Lord. So, in the devotional text they say, grow bhakti for the Supreme Lord. grow bhakti. We may be feeling that I am a bhakta, but if I am a bhakta, have I got the qualities of a bhakta, which these texts are telling us? You must be like this if you are the best of bhaktas. So, our aim, we know. And I'm very sure, with the bombardment of all these satsangs, I'm saying bombardment because I feel how blessed you are, all of you. 3 satsangs in a week. As I have mentioned before, I never got such a chance, such an opportunity to listen to again and again. See, we are not able to remind ourselves our true identity. But here, you are getting the opportunity of listening so many times. So, our aim, I think, all of you, and you are writing also. Many of you are writing. We feel very happy getting your emails or WhatsApp. Only thing that I feel sorry also that, particularly me, I am very slow in replying. So those who have written to me, I would say, please consider your mother to be a slow replier, and maybe someday I will reply. But I am happy to know that these are benefiting you, these satsangs, all the satsangs. So when the aim is there, what should be the aim like? It should be like a flame, burning flame, brilliant, bright, unflickering. You know, when there is no air, the flames, when you light a lamp, the flame will be absolutely straight and going up. If you burn an incense stick, if you watch, if those incense sticks, when we burn, smoke comes out, radiating fragrance, spreading fragrance. But if there is no air in that area, you will find it going high up, straight. You know with what? That is the aspiration. Aspiration to go up, up, up. Elevating the mind and the buddhi. So, our aim should be never forgotten. The aim is like a flame which is burning upwards with high intensity and brilliance, and we will keep it ever lit in our heart. We will not allow it to become extinguished, neither we will allow it to become dim. What is the fuel for this lamp? Have you ever thought? We may have the aim, but how will it be ever lit? What is the fuel for it? Fuel is the love and aspiration. Love and aspiration for this path, and yearning for this path, yearning to go forward and ultimately reach the destination where we get seated in ourselves, where nobody can move us, nobody can change us. We are ever bright, we are ever happy, liberated, free we are. And the fuel is also exclusive sincerity. There should be sincerity. When a student, he studies, he has to be sincere with the studies. He cannot play with his studies. If he has to have good marks, even a rank, if he wants to become a doctor or an engineer, he has to study very hard. So a student becomes sincere. Similarly, we are the students of spiritual knowledge, Brahmavidya. We should be sincere. We cannot be half-hearted. If we are half-hearted, you know what will happen. If you are inattentive, you know what will happen. I have already told you and taught you that shloka. Lakshyachyutam ched yadi chittameshad bahirmukham sannipatet tatastataha pramadatah pratyutakelikandukaha sopana pangtau patito yatha tatha. Lakshyachyutam ched yadi chittameshad bahirmukham sannipatet tatastataha pramadatah pratyutakelikandukaha sopana pangtau patito yatha tatha. If we are inattentive, then what will happen? Just like that player who is holding a ball, he is inattentive and the grip with which he is holding the ball loosens and the ball falls down, bounces and goes away from him. Sometimes completely disappears. So our aim also should be focused inside. If we allow it to go outward by inattention, then we'll also lose the aim. You know, there is a very beautiful sloka in Yogavasishtha Ramayanam, a similar sloka, which says, Swarupe nirmale satye nimeshamapi vismrite drishyamullasamaapnoti pravrishiva payodharaha. Swarupe nirmale satye nimeshamapi vismrite drishyamullasamaaya apnoti pravrishiva payodharaha. Drishyamullasamaapnoti pravrishiva payodharaha. This is in the Nirvana Prakarana Purvardha, 85th chapter, 111th verse. So, Swarupe, one's own Swarupa, the real identity, which is what? Which is of pure truth, nature of pure truth. Our Swarupa, the real identity, is the truth, which is eternal, which doesn't change. It is always the same. This is our Swarupa. It is pure. And if that Swarupa we forget, even for a moment, nimesham api vismrite, if we forget that self, our Swarupa, our real identity, that I am unaffected, changeless, imperishable, I cannot be moved, and I'm like the space which is taintless. All these things. If you forget that even for a moment, then what will happen? Then the whole world, with all its varieties, which is the drishya, the witnessed, the I is the witness. My real identity is the witness. It witnesses the body, mind, intelligence, as well as the world. My real identity, the I, is the witness, which witnesses the changes in my body, mind, and intelligence. That witness, which has witnessed when I was 5 years old, how big I was, some of the things that I did, how my mind was, and it has witnessed the growth of my body, the growth of my mind, and the mind's thoughts, opinions, views, ideas, the buddhi which has matured. Who has witnessed it? The witness. The witness has not undergone any change. That is the real I. Everything else changes. So does the world. So, as soon as we forget that, all the varieties of the world comes towards us because we have forgotten. And we start identifying with everything. As we identify with the body, mind and intelligence and many things which is happening in the gross world, what happens? We undergo happiness and unhappiness. In this sloka it is described and compared to as the drishya, all the things which come and distract us, deviate us from our real identity if we have forgotten. It is just like when the clouds, the heavy dense clouds, they cast and overcast the sky, it becomes black in color and then it starts shedding. Pravrishiva payodharaha. In the rainy season adds many clouds, they become a very thick veil in the sky and start shedding profusely. Similarly, all the varieties of the world starts coming to us as a variety, and if we forget our real identity, which is the one soul. So, this is what happens if we forget the aim. Now, what to do? We are not remembering. We are active in our world. As soon as we get up in the morning, are we remembering the self, the soul, our real identity? Mostly not. We are remembering what all we have to do in the day, what all things or targets we have to meet. Some work we like, we look forward to them. Some work we do not like, so we think grudgingly or disappointedly how to do that work. So this is our condition. And as soon as we get up in the morning, the whole world with all its duties, responsibilities, activities are in front of us. How are we going to remember that I am the self? And you will say, even by remembering, what will happen? But yes, if we remember, if we practice, if we make an effort, my dear children, I tell you, you must have faith. Slowly we will be established in that state of ours, attaining which we will feel that we are Purna. Nothing else has to be achieved. Attaining which we will feel that even if there has been waves of destruction even, we will not feel affected. But we have to go slowly, practice. So, again, we say, that is why Satsanga is necessary. Many of you, I know, you read the scriptures very regularly. You have devotional or spiritual practices. You may be having satsang groups of your own, discuss. Some people come to the ashram. Of course, now nobody is able to come. And listen. So you are listening and reading. Why are we doing that? Why are we again and again listening and reading? I am telling you this for many of the satsangs. Don't think that I am repeating. Repeat I must. Hammer I must. It should get into your head. Why are we to give value to the satsang? when we go for satsangs, when we read something or listen something, what happens, There is beautifully described in Bhagavatam. It says that Satam prasangan mama virya samvido bhavanti hrit karna rasayana katha tajyoshanadashu apavargavartmani shraddha ratir anukramishati satam prasangan mama virya samvido bhavanti hrit karna rasayana katha tajyoshanad ashu apavargavartmani shraddha ratir anukramishati. This is in the 3rd skandha, 25th chapter, 25th verse, which Kapila told his mother, Devahuti. He is describing, telling his mother that, Mother, you must seek the company of the wise people, self-realized people, and listen to them. Have association with them. Because the wise people, the holy people, they are sarva sanga vivarjitaha. They do not have any possessiveness. They do not have any attachment to anything. They are free. The soul themselves. They are Brahmavid. Brahmavid Brahmaiva bhavati. As I was saying, Yaya tadaksharam adhigamyate. When we take to this spiritual knowledge, the learning of spiritual knowledge, we must become that knowledge. That is the compulsion. Otherwise there is no benefit. We have to become. That should be our aim. So Kapila is saying, Mother, you must seek the association of holy people who are sarvasanga vivarjitaha. They do not have any sangha. They are not attached. The attachment, that is our bondage. The desires that we have, that make us possessive and attached to the objects of desire. And that is why the mind becomes agitated by unfulfilled desires. The mind becomes restless. Mind becomes unpeaceful, worried, anxious, and what not. So he says, O Mother, you must seek their company, because they being sarvasanga vivarjitaha, they will remove all the attachments from the minds of the seekers and devotees. How? What happens? I started today's satsang saying, what is the necessity of satsang? The necessity of satsang definitely is to learn about, hear about this magnanimity of the soul, the self, and from our mind take away the desires, possessiveness, attachment, which do not allow us to look into the self, look towards the self, love it. Our desires, our attachments, our possessiveness for little pleasures from the world, the impermanent pleasures, we are such fools. We feel we'll be happy, we'll be peaceful. So we constantly look outside instead of looking inside and seeing or enjoying or getting established or constantly in that joy which is spontaneous, which does not depend on any object. That joy, we can rejoice in that joy. We can sport in that joy. We can dwell in that joy. Sada ananda rasam. Like a fountain, it is there from our self. This is this true identity. It is full of bliss. Satchidananda. It is coming out. We don't look at it. We feel A house will give me happiness. A car will give me happiness. A good position will give me happiness. A child will give me happiness. My dear children, I want to tell you this. You know, I'm remembering something. I didn't think that today I'll tell this, but I am remembering it. I was very fortunate to have stepped on this path when I was young, about 23, 24 years of age. I came to know of Baba Gangadhara Paramahamsa. I started writing letters to him. He gave me initiation. He was old, and he attained Mahasamadhi after I came to know him for about 5 years. But just before he attained Mahasamadhi, it so happened Swamiji, who has been Baba's dearest disciple, Swamiji, about whom I had heard from Baba. I had not met him at that time. Swamiji had gone to meet Baba, who was very weak, very sick. I also went there. And at that time, Baba had told Swamiji to take the charge of my spiritual sadhana pursuit. Why I am saying this, you know, I had initiation and I used to do meditation. I used to read Bhagavad Gita. Did not have any chance of listening. Used to read the Gospel of Ramakrishna Dev. Then I met Swamiji. He started writing to me letters. Many letters we have exchanged. I, with my very silly questions of that age, and Swamiji replying them. Before that, I used to write to Baba. As long as he could, he had replied. His letters used to be very small, in shaky handwriting, only few lines. I remember he wrote in his first letter, where I had told him, Baba, I feel that this world is very impermanent. Everything just goes away. Is there anything permanent in this world? Baba had described and written some lines. At the end he had written, don't fear. The Supreme Lord is within you. You know, I had held on to those words. Held on to those words. Faith is necessary. We must have faith and Shraddha in Guru Vakya, in the Shastra Vakyas. And then, when I was in the hands of Pujya Swamiji, Swamiji was writing letters to me. I was in Kharagpur. Swamiji was in Kerala. He has explained to me such concepts of spiritual knowledge in the most lucid and simple manner. But I was not knowing anything at that time. I used to read the letters. I don't know how many times I would have read each letter. Many of them, I think I got by-hearted. But I was not exposed to Upanishads. listening from Swamiji. When for the first time I had the opportunity to listen to Upanishads, I found I'm just sitting and shedding tears. I'm listening and shedding tears. I was surprised at myself. What is this self it is talking about? That self we are talking about now. In all our satsangs, we have to love it. Love it. Love like we love our children. That should be. So, he says, Satam prasangan mama virya samvido bhavanti hritkarna rasayana kathaha. From the saints, we come to hear about the self. We come to hear about the excellences, the sports, the deeds of the Supreme Lord. This is a sloka from Bhagavatam. So it is talking about the Supreme Lord. But same thing. That is why I remembered this. As soon as started hearing the Upanishads, where the self is described, and I was hearing, not reading, hearing. The whole mind was in that. And there were tears. The mind went inside. Satam prasangan mama virya samvido. So, when the accounts of the self, the qualities and the attributes of the self is heard from where? From those who have known, from those who have tread the path and reached the destination, from those wise people. Then those words, it becomes Hritkarna Rasayanaha. Look at the word. It becomes Hritkarna Rasayanaha. They become ambrosia, nectar for the Hrit, that is the heart, and Karna. First we hear from the ears these nectarine words, and the words go into the heart, and you will find that you are becoming that, those words. Reflect on them, think about them, love them, absorb them like a blotting paper would absorb the ink that has fallen. Absorb it. This is how we absorb. My dear children, by heart you must, but please absorb and assimilate in your free times. When you are taking bath, when maybe you are driving alone, you are having a walk, absorb this. So, that Joshanad, by drinking that nectar, what happens? Slowly, quite soon, that Joshanad Ashu Apavarga Vartmani. Apavarga is liberation, in the path of liberation. What are these words saying? What are the saints saying? The holy people saying? The wise people saying? They're talking of the self or the soul or the Supreme Lord and the excellences, the magnanimity, the magnitude, the dimension. And just by drinking that, what happens? One becomes interested in the path of liberation. Just by listening, there is so much of nectarine feeling that one feels, oh, what is this? I've never felt like this earlier, as I was saying, when I heard the Upanishads. I felt I've never heard this, never heard this. So, just by hearing what happens, Shraddha, faith, Ratihi, love, Bhakti, devotion, Anukramishyati, one after another, all this come and grace the seeker and the devotee. We must read the Bhagavatam. You know, Bhagavatam has a different kind of feeling, different thing to give. It is full of sweetness. Sweetness, because we are talking about the Supreme Lord. It is very easy when we think of a form to love that form. So the Supreme Lord, we don't know how he looks. We imagine he looks like this, that. Vishnu, Krishna, Durga, Kali, Shiva, all that. Leave aside that. But we feel that we can love. So, our bhakti, devotion, love, we can express. And in this Bhagavatam also, that is what is expressed. It is constantly saying, as in Bhagavad Gita and Upanishads we are saying, it is talking about the soul, the self, which is also beautiful, amazing. It takes us to such heights, and ultimately we have to become that, be established and self-seated. And in Bhagavatam, it is compelling us to love the God, love the Supreme Lord. It says the highest duty of man is to grow devotion for the Supreme Lord and be united with Him. The same thing. Be united. Who is the Supreme Lord? The Bhagavad Gita also talks about the Supreme Lord. The same thing. Within and without. He alone is there. Be united with Him. Know Him alone. Know Him alone. So, this is why we should always remain in satsang. Remain in satsang. If you cannot do that, at least house people. One couple told me, you know, our ashram, Pujya Swamiji has devotee groups in many places in India and abroad. But even in India, in many of the cities, or maybe places which may not be a city, there may not be groups. So one couple, the wife, she told me, she was telephoning me, I think. She said, Ma, we are very unfortunate. We don't have any satsang group here, so that we can meet sometimes and we can read something, study something, discuss, ruminate. We don't have. So I told her, why? Both of you are there. Both of you are interested in this path. So why don't you fix a time when both of you will sit with a satsang attitude? At other times you read yourself, contemplate yourself and do whatever. But for satsang, reading together, exchanging notes, discussing with each other, Macchitta madgata pranaha bodhayantah parasparam kathayantascha maam nityam tushyanti cha ramanti cha Macchitta madgata pranaha bodhayantah parasparam kathayantascha maam nityam tushyanti cha ramanti cha. This is from Bhagavad Gita. Krishna is telling Arjuna. I think it is in 10th chapter, 9th sloka. I may be wrong. You have to check it. So, Krishna is telling Arjuna, Macchittaha, Madgata Pranaha, become Macchittaha. Give all your mind to me. Mayeva mana adhatsva. Give all your mind to me. That is, whatever you do your work. Whatever activities, responsibilities, duties you have, do. Know that you belong to me. Say, I belong to you. I am your bhakta. Do everything, but know that you consider the Supreme Lord to be the supreme in your life. Like that. Macchitta madgata pranaha. And considering him to be the supreme. Even the whole life, the life forces, it is for him. That is, whatever we do, his thought, the thought of the Supreme Lord, the thought of the self, remaining connected with the self, that feeling never leaves us. That kind of a state we should slowly progress to. Maybe now it is not, but we must progress. That is the aim. Macchitta madgata pranaha bodhayanta parasparam. So such people, they should meet together and whatever they have read, whatever they have understood, they should discuss between themselves. Bodhayantaha parasparam, with each other. So when we talk, say when something happy happens, no? Suppose a child has done very good, a good result, maybe has stood first. So in the whole house there will be festivity. The father will tell the mother, mother will tell the father, the siblings will tell each other, they will tell the neighbors. Why we talk with each other? Just to share. Bodhayanta parasparam, kathayantascha mam nityam. And not only that, they will talk about the Supreme Lord. Kathayantascha mam nityam, about me, the Supreme Lord. They will be talking. You know, I read such and such thing. You know, in that book I have read this. You know, such a devotee has written the life or the sadhana that he has done, a realized soul. So there will be exchanges. And with this exchange, what will happen? The mind will be fixed in the Supreme Lord. What we generally do when we talk to each other? All worldly talks about child, grandchild, about the assets, about the bank balance, about the new car that you have bought, all those things. But the Macchitta and Madgata Pranaha, those who consider the Lord to be the Supreme, they will do this. And by doing so, Tushyanti cha ramanti cha. They feel so happy, pleased, delighted, and they rejoice in that delight. Yesterday I had told you, not yesterday, the previous day, one sloka, I think that is from 5th chapter, Yehi samsparshaja bhoga, dukkha yonaya evate, adyantavantah kaunteya, nateshu ramate buddhaha. Yehi samsparshaja bhogaha. By all the senses will go and interact with many things. Those bhogas, those enjoyments, they are dukkha yonayaha. That is, they are the wombs of misery. Initially they may give you a little happiness, no doubt. But later on, that happiness will go. Again the mind will become unhappy, grumbling, depressed. So, it is saying that those happinesses or those enjoyments are adyantavantaha. They start, they have a beginning and antaha. Adi and anta. The beginning and end, those enjoyments have. Nateshu ramate buddha. So the buddha, the wise people, do not feel delighted in those enjoyments. And you compare with this one that I said just now. Kathayantascha mam nityam tushyanti cha ramanti cha. But when the devotees, the seekers, they meet each other, that becomes a festivity. If they talk about the self, the soul, or the Supreme Lord, His excellences, His deeds, His glories, and they make each other understand, share, then what happens? Tushyanti cha ramanti cha. They become santushta, become very happy, delighted, and ramanti, they rejoice in that. So this is where from one stage we go to another. So you must assess where you are, whether you are of that category who are still having rejoicing and delight in samsparshaja bhoga, or have you come to this state by your sadhana, by your interest, by your love for the path, where you would like to meet those who are like-minded devotees and seekers. Assess. It's very, very important. So, I was telling about listening and reading. And I have told you that I have taught you slokas. I'm going to teach you some more. Because in listening, say the talks that you are hearing, 3 talks a week, sometimes I feel whether you are becoming tired and you are missing some. See, we started talking because some of you said that we want to hear. So we are faithfully coming and talking. Are you faithfully listening? Listening to all the talks? I doubt. So, we must be sincere. And what is the benefit of this listening? Hammering you are getting, reminder you are getting. I am teaching you slokas, I am telling you, pleading with you, please learn them and reflect on them. And by learning and reflecting, what are you going to have? Your mind will become Macchitta Madgata Prana. Just now I told you a sloka. Because you are listening, and slowly that love will grow. When a child is born, in first 1 or 2 days, I don't think the mother feels so much attached to the child. But as days pass, the mother bathes the child, dresses up the child, decorates the child, putting a bindi, black bindi here, on the forehead here, makes the child look very beautiful. Whether it's a poor mother or whether a rich mother, the mother's happiness is the same. And as she handles the child, she grows love for the child. Unfortunately, that love becomes attachment. And because it becomes an attachment and not pure love, she suffers also later on. What you should do to learn these slokas? Write. Don't tell, I cannot learn. I said right in the beginning that you must be sincere. So write on a chit of paper or big paper, frame it, or write in big letters on a notebook and carry that notebook wherever you are going. Wherever you are working most of the time, put it up on the wall. I am telling you because I have done it. I have learned many shlokas like this. When I came to the ashram, lot of ashram work, domestic work was there to be done. I was not given to so much of physical work. But my interest to learn, to know, and the interest became more and more. because I was at the feet of Pujya Swamiji, whom I saw to be a storehouse of slokas. And he just doesn't repeat the slokas, he lives it. He is established in them. And when he chants a sloka, it becomes a knowledge. So I thought that I should learn as many shlokas as I can. I told Swamiji, requested him. So he also found interest. He started teaching me shlokas in the satsangs, sometimes just like that. So how do I learn? So I used to write, and in a notebook. Some I pasted on the wall. And while working, I will look at them, learn, look at them, learn. That time I was younger, it will take maybe 1 or 2 days to learn. And now it takes time. Sarvendriyanam jarayanti tejaha. Sarvendriyanam jarayanti tejaha. With age, all the indriyas will become old and weak. So, you must have your own method to learn them. Why? Because all the talks that we are listening to, you won't be able to remember the sentences. But whenever we are saying a sloka, why we are saying a sloka? We are actually summarizing a concept or summarizing some advice or message from the scripture in 2 lines, which the scripture has. So it is easy to learn a poem, poetry. And if we learn them, we can remember it, by heart it, reflect upon it, ruminate, and sometimes we'll find chanting the same shloka over and over again, you will find your eyes have closed. You have gone inside yourself and you are able to taste the nectar that comes out from those words, which are the real identity of the I that I am. It should happen. You know, some of the shlokas we can use in very difficult situations. I remember I have chanted these two slokas many number of times. One is this: Na prahishyet priyam prapya, no dvijet prapya chapriyam, sthira buddhira sammodho, brahmavid brahmanistitaha. Na prahishyet priyam prapya, no dvijet prapya chapriyam, sthira buddhi asammodha, brahmavid brahmanistitaha. I don't know whether slides are there of these slokas. Anyway, we will see next time. This is from the fifth chapter of Bhagavad Gita. The first line, Na prahishyet priyam prapya. Do not be delighted, unduly delighted, when you get something which is pleasant. No dvijet prapya cha priyam. Apriyam prapya, no dvijet, na udvijet. When you get what you don't like, then don't become upset, disturbed. Such a simple sentence. It will help a lot in our day-to-day life. We like many things and we dislike many others. Many times it happens that what I don't like, it comes to me and I have to do that. And when what I like, I am not doing that. I am not able to. So, these sentences, if you remember, it will be very helpful in all these situations. We'll take these things later when I actually describe how our activities we should transform, how we can remain connected. Now, I will go forward. From listening, reading, ruminating, what are we trying to achieve? We are trying to achieve that connectedness to the soul. Connectedness to the soul. We are again and again listening about the soul, again and again listening about the Supreme Lord, the attributes and the characteristics, and we are reminded that I am that, I am that. That is, I am getting connected to the source, the soul, my real identity. And when we get connected, what does Bhagavad Gita say? Yunjannevam sadatmanam yogi vigata kalmashaha sukhena brahma samsparsham atyantam sukham ashnute. Yunjannevam sadatmanam yogi vigata kalmashaha sukhena brahma samsparsham atyantam sukham ashnute. I think I have chanted this many times in my recent lectures. I like it very much. Because it reminds, Yunjannevan, we have to remain connected. Sadatmanam, with the Atma. And if we do so, we become blemish-free. Or you have to constantly try to make your mind pure so that this yuktata with the self becomes easy. It says, Sukhena Brahma Samsparsham Atyantam Sukham Ashnute. Atyantam Brahma Samsparsham Sukham. Sukhena, very easily one gets. We are wanting peace and happiness. These are the ones, these messages, these instructions from Krishna, they are telling us what to do, how to do. In so many shlokas of Bhagavad Gita, Krishna is telling us with these words. He says, Manmana bhava madbhakto madhyaji mam namaskuru. I have been telling you that let this be a mantra. Let us be manmana, let us be matchitta, let us be ananya chetaha. And constantly we will think, how can we become? How can we become? What we should do? This should be the question. How can we become? This should be the question. Because Krishna is giving a promise that you will get Shashvatam Abhyayam Padam. You will enter me, Vishate Tadanantaram. He is saying that you will attain me, Mameti, Mame Vaishyasi. All these words Krishna has said. It is his promise. So what shall we do? We have to become like that. The question comes, how do we connect? How do we connect? My dear children, you know, I just want to see your faces. Are you listening? Are you giving importance? The connection can be had. Yearn for it. Ask again and again. Cry, weep that I am losing the connectedness, my Lord. I am losing the connectedness. When I do work, when I am in the world, when I am interacting, I simply forget you. What shall I do? What shall I do? What is that process? What is that pursuit by which my sincerity will become supreme? My craving, my yearning will become supreme. What shall I do? What is the way? Please tell me. These questions should rise. These questions should rise. I'll tell you. You know, I have always felt, what is this connectedness that we are talking about? Yunjan. We remain connected to the source, the self, the Supreme Lord. We try to imagine that the Supreme Lord is everywhere. He is outside and inside. Everywhere He is. When we think like this, we have a divine feeling. When we worship, we have a divine feeling. When we sit for meditation, we have a divine feeling. That feeling is very, very different from all our feelings. It is something which is not the ordinary feelings. Divine. It gives us joy. It takes our mind away from all our tensions and all our fears. It makes our mind become expanded. So, how do we start our day? I've always felt, this feeling has not come suddenly. As I have tread the path of sadhana, I have felt that just as in Kathopanishad it says, Nayam atma pravachanena labhyo na medhaya na bahuna shrutena yamevaisha vrinute tena labhyaha tasyaisha atma vivrinute tanum swam. Nayam atma pravachanena labhyo na medhaya na bahuna shrutena yamevaisha vrinute tena labhyaha tasyaisha atma vivrinute tanum swam. Our sincerity, our yearning should be like this. The Atma cannot be had by pravachana. One may be speaking very well, explaining very well. What? The knowledge of the self. One may be having lot of intelligence. With lot of intelligence, he has grasped what the scriptures are telling us about the self and how we can go forward. One might have listened and listened and listened and might have done manana also. But for all those people, neither through pravachana, nor through intelligence, nor through listening, Atma is realized. Kathopanishad says, Yamevaisha vrinute tena labhyaha. One who exclusively yearns for this Atma, chooses this Atma, to the exclusion of everything else, giving the supreme position. No other thing is dear to him. Madbina na anyadichyati. Apart from the self or the Supreme Lord, that seeker does not want anything else. He gives a varanamala to Atma alone, to nobody else. Tasyaisha Atma vibrinute tanum swam. To him, to that seeker, Atma reveals oneself. Nuthan Swamiji has been taking it in his discourses. It's a beautiful shloka to be learned and to be kept inside. Don't get deluded. If you have intelligence and you feel intellectually you have understood the self, don't get deluded if you feel that you have listened. Wherever there is a talk, you are going and listening. And nowadays, because of YouTube, there are so many things to listen. So I'm listening. If you are a good speaker, maybe you are able to explain also. I just now said, bodhayanta parasparam. When you meet each other, one of them takes the leadership and discusses. Maybe one is very efficient in explaining. No, Atma will not be revealed. For that, one has to be exclusively yearning for the Atma and Atma alone. Then I was saying, I have been thinking about it, that how to be exclusively wanting. I think we should fill our days with blessedness, with gratefulness. As we get up in the morning, fill the mind and heart with blessedness. What is that blessedness? The blessedness because I have been exposed to this knowledge. I am that very rare human being, by the blessing and grace of God, the Supreme Lord, I have come to know that my real identity is that imperishable soul, changeless soul. I am unaffected, eternal, vast. I am that. And I am not the body, mind and intelligence. I have come to know that. And I have got some opportunity to read the books, listen to these truths. So fill the mind with blessedness. Fill the mind with faith and Shraddha. What is this Shraddha? Guru Vakyeshu and Shastra Vakyeshu. Having faith. Shastreshu Guru Vakyeshu Satya Buddhyavadharanam. That what the Guru is saying, what the Shastras are saying, that is the truth. Have that firm conviction. Have that firm conviction. Don't doubt. Don't question. Just open yourself. Like an open book. Make it pure. Let the words and messages of the Shastras and the Gurus be written beautifully in your heart. And think about them. Think about them. When we get up in the morning, we must think about this. What happens is when we get up in the morning, so many cluttering thoughts fill our mind in a friendly manner, very friendly way. Tell those thoughts, I have come to know of myself. I have come to know about that Mahantam Purusham. Shrinvantu Vishve Amritasya Putraha Ya Ye Dhamani Divyani Tasthu Vedahametam Purusham Mahantam Aditya Varna Tamasa Parastat Tameva Viditvati Mrityumeti Nanya Pantha Vidyate Ayanaya. I have come to know about that. Now it is just a knowledge, but I believe in the Shastras and my Gurus that there is such a state. There is that Purusha who is beyond darkness, who is ever brilliant, ever free, eternal, imperishable. I have come to know of that, and I must know him, because by knowing him alone, I will be eternally peaceful and happy, and I will be liberated. All the shackles of the mind, I will be able to cut asunder, and I will experience what is freedom. Tell the cluttering thoughts this way. Please don't come and disturb me. I have something very divine in me. I want to think of that, I had asked Baba one day, Baba, many kinds of thoughts come cluttering into the mind. How to get rid of them? You can imagine, I was very young. Baba, I think he passed away attained his Mahasamadhi just 2 months later. I was asking him. And he said, yes, tell them, go, don't disturb me. Tell them in a friendly manner, remembering that I am also telling you, in a friendly manner tell, all this while you have disturbed me, please go, go, go. I want to think about the self. I want to think about the self. My dear children, all of us together will trek and will go to that pilgrim spot. Let us step onto this journey, spiritual journey, the pilgrimage together. The path is beautiful, wonderful, fascinating. It is enchanting, and every moment we can feel and experience the nectar that soaks us. It is so beautiful. It is so beautiful. You know, Yudhishthira was told, Atma nadi samyamatoya samyamapurna tirtha satyodaka shilatata dayormihi tatrabhishekam kuru panduputra navarina shuddhyate chantaratma. Atma nadi samyama punya tirtha satyodaka shilatata dayormihi tatrabhishekam kuru panduputra navarina shuddhyati chantaratma. It says, O Yudhishthira, Panduputra, Atma is like a river, and it is a holy pilgrimage of self-discipline. Samyama punya tirtha. Satyodaka. Truth is its water. Truth. Shila tata. And it banks our characteral values, the beautiful values and qualities that our mind can have. Those are the banks of the river. Dayormihi, compassionate are the waves. O Yudhishthira, Panduputra, take a dip in that Atma Nadi, because just water, ordinary water, will only purify your body. Ordinary water cannot purify yourself, the soul, the inside of your being. Only when you dwell in the self, take a dip in this Atma Nadi, you will be purified, my dear. You will be purified. That is what we are trying to do. We'll purify ourselves with the dip in the qualities of the self. Again and again throughout the day, whenever we can, especially when we get up in the morning or we are alone sitting, there is time in our hands. Think about the Atma and give a dip, and we will purify. I will take this sloka also, make you chant, learn this. Today I thought, after 3 sessions, I'll repeat. Whether you like it or not, I will repeat. And I think now we will go forward. We have to see many things. How we will take a dip in this Atma river. How we will think about the qualities of the Atma. Are we to only think? What about our activities? What are we to do with that? What about our mind? What about our buddhi? How do we purify that? What about the disturbances that come into the mind? How to purify them? What is the pursuit? The pursuit is all enfolding. It is everywhere. It is a pursuit which will transform us integrally. The mind, buddhi, the body, the senses, the ego, everything will become purified, and ultimately it will know that there is no plurality, nothing is there. It is only the self, and one will be established in the self. I'll close today. I will end by chanting some shloka on the self. Eko vashi sarvabhutantaratma ekam rupam bahudha yah karoti tamatmastham yenu pashyanti dhiraha tesham sukham shashvatam netaresham eko vashi sarvabhutantaratma ekam rupam bahudha yah karoti tamatmastham yenu pashyanti dhiraha tesham sukham shashvatam netaresham yas sarvajyas sarvavid yasyaisha mahima bhuvi divye brahmapure hyesha vyomnatma pratisthitaha manomaya pranasharira neta pratisthitone hridayam sannidhaya tadvijnanena paripashyanti dhiraha anandarupam amritam yadvibhati yas sarvajñas sarvavid yasyaisha mahima bhuvi divye brahmapure hyesha vyomnyatma pratisthitaha manomaya prana sharira neta pratisthitone hridayam sannidhaya tadvijnanena paripashyanti dhiraha anandarupam amritam yadvibhati brahmaivedam amritam purastad brahma paschad brahma dakshinataschodtarena adhaschordhvam cha prasitam brahmaivedam vishvamidam varishtham brahmaivedam amritam purastad brahma paschad brahma dakshinataschodtarena adhaschordhvam cha prasitam brahmaivedam vishvamidam varishtham brahmaivedam vishvamidam varishtham. My dear children, I want you to learn this. Get up in the morning, chant this or read this, understand this. Love this, love this, love the soul, love Brahman, love this path, love this path. Feel blessed, feel as if the blessings and the bliss is drenching you completely, completely. This is the feeling we will have when we go together pilgrimaging to that pilgrim spot, our destination. Okay.